A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
How Melbourne flickered the Deadly Dees' 13th straight win. While the Demons dominated inside 50s and clearances, the Deadly Dees were not able to kick enough points to win.
While bad kicking is bad football, the Demons per kicking meant the Dees should have won by more than 10 points. Richmond largely focused on making the back six accountable and keeping the numbers even across the field.
Other teams may adopt this tactic in the future. Christian Salem.
The Demons took on the Deadly Dees in the opening quarter, with Bailey Fritsch kicking 2 goals in 2 minutes. Meanwhile, Christian Petracca booted 5 goals in a row and is among the best in the competition.
As the game went on, both sides kicked 9.22 goals % and had a stark difference in scoring shots. While the Demons kicked more goals in the first half, they weren't as efficient in the second.
The Demons' kicking was poor, but they dominated uncontested positions, clearances, and inside 50s. The only area in which Melbourne were not as good was the kicking.
While Melbourne should have won by more than 10 points, they lacked consistency, kicking and passing. The Demons' defensive efforts were impressive, with Sam Wiedemann kicking 3 goals from 5 attempts.
The Demons failed to make the finals in 1960. In fact, they needed Footscray to lose to Carlton in the finals for them to reach the finals.
Ultimately, the Bulldogs beat them by 4 points. After the 1976 Grand Final, Melbourne was in the bottom half of the ladder.
In 1979, they suffered their worst defeat in the history of the FLA, falling to Fitzroy and then Essendon by 190 points. Earth Demons' second-half surge was spurred by the Demons' mistakes.
Their 3-point lead was reduced to a mere 2 points, but the Demons' final quarter surge triggered 5 straight goals. The Demons led by 21 points at the final change.
The match featured a number of crucial moments for the Demons, with the first 2 kicking 5 goals to kick 7 goals in the third quarter. Of Demons dominated the third term.
With 12 goals inside the forward 50, they were well suited to counter Richmond's defensive inexperience. In the third term, the Demons' kicking accuracy was only 5.7%, but a double goal from Bailey Fritsch made the game a whole lot easier for Melbourne.
It is now clear that they'll break the damn wall against the Richmond Dees in the final term. Trent Rivers.
The Deadly Dees' spirited performance at the MCG tonight has the visitors on a roll, securing their 13th straight win. Melbourne have dominated the first 6 rounds, and their win over Richmond is a benchmark for the competition.
As the match reaches its final minutes, the players continue scrapping in front of the goalposts. On the last tackle, the Dees defenders are caught rushing the ball to goal.
The Dees' goal is made easier by a ruck clearance after the Tigers retake possession. The Dees also boosted their draft pool by adding a pair of promising young players to the side.
The Dockers selected Tanner Bruhn as their first pick, a forward who has not played much in recent years, but has shown flashes of his ability. Jared Stone was another fine addition to the draft list, with huge scope to develop at the FL level.
He scored 5 goals on his NAB League debut, and could play in midfield in the future. In addition to Bruhn and Stone, the Giants also drafted another winger, Ryan Angwin, who will likely take a while to play senior football.
In the first half, the Tigers were largely outplayed by the Dees. Melbourne leads by a halftime score of 37-9, but Richmond outplayed the Tigers in the first quarter, with Martin and Lambert warming up on the sidelines.
With the score still so close, the Tigers will need to play better if they want to claim a first-half lead in the final quarter. After a season of mixed results, the Tigers are now firmly on the rise.
Their key forwards, including Nathan McLean and Nick Key, should improve significantly. Despite the lack of star power at the end of last season, the Tigers are in a strong position to finish the year with a win and a favourable run of fixtures.
The key to the victory is the versatility of their ruck. A strong central defender, Rossman is a tough opponent around the ball.
His outside skills resemble Isaac Smith. His long limbs and solid left foot kick make him a formidable opponent in the midfield.
With a solid defensive core, Rossman will keep his opponents off the ball for a long time. While the Roos had to make a splash in the ruck, the Cats' wing should also be a factor.
The Cats big leap into the first round. is a great example of that. The Cats will be without their best ruckman in 2019, but they are able to compensate for this with the help of an experienced and proven backline.
Jaden Hunt. How Melbourne flicked the Deadly Dees' 13th straight win.
Despite being a better team in the first half, the Demons struggled to break down the resolute Monsters' defense. While Richmond's forward 50 proficiency kept them in the game, Melbourne's relentless pressure was too much to handle.
The Dees didn't get 4 points, despite dominating the first half. The Demons dominated the first half, taking 12 inside 50 and 5 from outside 50.
They've been building up as a unit and haven't been as damaging on quick breaks as they have in the past. As coach Jonathan Brown pointed out in the first quarter, Richmond's defense looked inexperienced.
Ultimately, Melbourne's defensive unit held the sting out of the game for the third quarter. The Demons were able to convert on their final term to win by 22 points against Richmond.
The Demons scored 6 of their final 8 goals in the second half to seal the win. The Demons were trailing by 3 points at halftime, but blitzed the Tigers by kicking 5 goals in a row to finish the game.
A number of big players played a key role for Melbourne, with Clayton Oliver accumulating 41 disposals, 22 contested possessions, 9 inside 50s, and 10 scoring partnerships. Sam Wedman kicked 3 goals from 5 kicks and finished with 8 points.